Hello, friends. It's Monday of week, well, I guess week 4 of what we're looking at here. Yeah, week 4 plus. For me, I got home Friday. This Friday, it'll be a total month of staying inside. How's everybody doing? How you doing? You gotta, you know, if you get asked it and you think about it, how are you? How you feeling? You have to be honest. You can say to yourself, how am I feeling? Richard Finley, losing my mind. Well, we better find it because we could be here a little longer, right? Hey, Robin from Scotland, how are you? Ian Marr, how are you doing? You know, could you be doing better? I think we could all be doing a little better, but we all can do a little better somewhere in there. We can do a little better. I have been doing interviews every day with different fighters. And they'll be coming out just in the next, well, probably today a little and over the next few days. And I've had a number of different high level fighters. Gegard Mousasi. Let me tell you what Gegard said. And I love Gegard. I do. He's one of my favorites. I'm chatting with Gegard. He's in the Netherlands. Ian Mar doing well. Daily cycle for 1 hour, 6 a.m. Good for you, man. That is, you talk to people and you ask kind of exercise. Let me say this to you right now. If you are watching this on Monday, I'm doing a workout with Julia Budd, former Bellator champion, at 9 p.m. Eastern time tonight on Bellator Instagram Live. We will take their training from their gym in British Columbia, Canada. It's everywhere right now. The people who are getting exercise, whether they were working out before they got quarantined or self-isolated or whatever, over and over, fall into this trap. But if you were exercising before or not, anonymous dude 123, a lot of nice comments today. You people are exercising are feeling good, and that's no surprise. If you were exercising before, you maintained it, and you have a good sense of well-being. That's part of getting exercise. Let's see, Matt Gioia. Hey, Robin, my friend Dan and I routinely get into debates about technique. He believes that technique is just a throwaway instrument, while I believe it's a personality. Wow, that's cool. You and your friend Dan have some cool conversations. Let's talk about that. So, yeah, I hate to give you this. For instance, I believe that fighters like TJ Dillashaw, Lando Venata employ stance switching as it is the representation of a trickster personality. Your thoughts? Okay. So there's a number of elements. Let's see. Any other examples you can think of? So you're both right. You're both right. And that's not often be the case, especially with smart people having smart conversations. The goal, before we dig into your point, the broader goal is to not win, but to learn and to gather and move together as you go. Now, sometimes people really are wrong. They, have been incorrectly informed by sometimes an insidious purpose, whether that thing be a news channel or some weird person on the internet. They've been purposefully misled. But a lot of people, really have some information, and you have some. There's a lot of variables here depending on how much you guys actually train martial arts, and that matters because you would feel these things. But you're both right, and we can often go back to Bruce Lee. There's a lot of issues when you go back to Bruce Lee, as brilliant as this man was. When you die in your 20s, you would have thought different in your 50s. And so you ended up stopping at a point where he would have gone had he been able to continue to explore would have been different. But he would talk about technique itself being, and this I'm going to paraphrase, but at first, uh, a punch as a punch and a kick as a kick. And then as you start to learn it, a punch becomes more than a punch and a kick more than a kick. There's something magic going on. But when you master the art, again, a punch is a punch and a kick is a kick, which would lean towards what your friend is saying for that. But Bruce would have 10 years later or 20 years later, he would have changed his perspective many times if he was still alive. And other other geniuses like that. Age is a powerful thing because it gives you time to see things change and change again and change again and change again. And if you're only 17 or 15 or 9 or 50, you have something, all that to look forward to at 30 or 50 or 80 years old, all the chances to see and re-see with all the things that you know. And so he would have too. Um, on the other hand, he also said that fighting is an expression of your individuality. And of course, that would include how the things that you choose. So you're definitely both right. At its root, a low kick or a punch or a feint or a stutter step or a rhythm on one hand, but there are also, of course, expressions of your individual artistic flair on the other. And you know how I can make this very simple? Playing one note on a piano is just a note, but then when the great artist plays it, it's not. And it's the same thing with a punch or a kick or whatever. The punch itself, the kick itself really isn't that important. Everybody has all of the techniques, because if I do this and I do this, that's a punch, that's a jab, and that's a hook. But if I do something in between, what's that? Is that a wrong? Is that a blend? Is that a different technique? There's thousands of things. Same things, we'll talk in throw a jab and range 4 can throw a kick. But in between each of those are millions of little subtle differences in between it. What's right on the ledge of this and this? Well, it's thousands of ranges or millions of ranges or no range at all, right? These are aspects of it. Using other art allows me to make that point. You guys probably have awesome conversations about this. If you think about things this way, you're really seeing the beauty of it. If I play, a G chord, it's a G chord, and if fucking Slash plays a G chord, it's a G chord. But it isn't. And then as you blend them together, any 3 notes or 4 notes becomes a chord progression, but the way that it's blended becomes the beautiful thing. So it's just a jab, it's just a hook, it's just a right hand when performed by you or I. But when performed by when it's performed by Anderson Silva, it becomes more than that, right? So everything you're saying is true on all sides. The choice of the weapon to do, for example, stance switching. You're a trickster, you like to deceive, but truly, this guy is a trickster or a deceiver because he stance switches, and this guy isn't because he doesn't. All combat is rooted in deception. Deception is fighting, right? So you know why you guys will discuss that forever? Is because that will be discussed forever. Everything you're saying is true. There's no right or wrong. There's only blends. There's no black or white. There's all the different colors blended together. So I'm going to look for some other questions, but we'll tie your thoughts into it today. That's a wonderful way to start. I really appreciate you. I have questions about the way in which Epstein wound up. I actually don't know anything about that. I hear little tidbits, but I just don't even go down there. I don't know. Great seeing you, Robin. My girl, let me say that. And I think I know where you're going with that, and good on you. Greetings from Toronto. You rock. Thanks for these live streams and positive vibes. And I have a place that I go to where there's a little studio, and we have a bed there too. We can go in underground, get in the elevator, go directly up and be in there. So we can still stay distanced, but out here in the country, I feel very lucky to be out here. Robin, don't have time to listen today, but would like to send my gratitude. I've been T. Roland. Then you're probably not here, but if you watch this again later, thanks for sending that gratitude. It's very kind. Hit the like, folks. Only takes a second. Ian Marr, thanks, man. What up, Robin, and everyone? Hope all is well. Appreciate you, James. Don't tell me what to do. You're not my dad, my real dad. What if I am? I'm old enough to be your father. What if I am? Devin, where are you streaming from, bro? I am in Stratford, Ontario, Canada. And we're just thinking about martial arts. We're chatting. We're looking for some questions. Had a couple of great little seeds from Matt earlier, and that we're going to go there. Everyone say hope all is well. You ever read the Book of Five Rings? I've read it many times. I read it at least 2 or 3 times a year. There are 2 books that I'm in a constant state of reading, and that is The Art of War and The Book of Five Rings. You can get them both together just as a listening I'm sure just the two together, put them into any type of listening, sort of podcast style book listening, and you can get them. And you can listen to them dozens of times because each time you see are exposed to anything, this is how a jab works, or this is how to jog. What you see is filtered through everything that you now know, right? So the way a kid was told about what an ice cube is very different than what a scientist is told what an ice cube is, because their foundations of knowledge filter through the information, or the information filter through their knowledge and their life experience and all the other things they know about. And that's why it's very valuable sometimes to learn about all these different, paradigms of things, all these different little universes of information. If you learn about gardening, it may inform the way that you cook. If you learn about how technology works, it may inform your painting, right? So it's very valuable. So it changes. So those I read those books over and over again, and every time I understand them different, and they mean different things to me. Do you think in MMA fights, feints have a lot of impact on opponent's mind and or reactions? It's a really good question. Feints for something that really only started to be talked about much in the mainstream. They still aren't very much, mostly in the breakdowns and nerd stuff, like my stuff and people like me. But because, like most things, when we talk about it, I'll be like, this guy did this and he reacted and then this happened. And we'll act as if that is rare, but it's not rare. Feints and little information, like little lies about where I am and what I'm doing, in eyes and looking down. That's going on at all times in fights. So sometimes when we point it out, or when somebody who isn't sort of a high level martial artist will mention it, or somebody who doesn't do this to thousands and thousands of times will point it out, they'll point it out as if it's a rare and so that this feint somehow was the key to everything. And when I show about feints, I can't speak for others, but when I do in my breakdowns, I'll do it in hopes that in the long run, years from now, we will slowly be able to notice that what is happening is just all these different lies are being told, and all these different traps are being set. And there's layers and layers and layers of this happening at all times. So there is feinting in ways, and feint, even we use the word now a lot. This happens with a lot of words. It becomes sort of a catch-all. The worst term in all of sport probably is ground and pound. Fact that I can be standing and punch you, or elbow you, or hammer fist you, punch from underneath, from over top, grab your wrist and come in, slide you to the side and hit, fake and do something, hit you twice, hit you three times, hit you light, hit you weak, hit you from all these different angles, and we call all of that ground and pound. This really does an incredible disservice to the beauty of all those elements, right? Oh, and here he is, and now he's going to dish out some ground and pound. It's like we make an umbrella that is a catch-all, so that we don't need to explain any of the other stuff. It's everybody does it. Just it takes a long time to fight through it, because we've heard it so many times that when a young fighter is asked to commentate on something, they'll just do it because they've heard it all the time. And it's really difficult to teach yourself out of. It takes hundreds of times. That's why commentary all sounds so similar, is because we get sort of trained into thinking it is a particular performance of which we are supposed to speak, when it actually isn't. The root of it is find interesting ways to enrich the experience for the audience. The job isn't say striker versus grappler. Now he's past the guard. He's going to dish out some ground and pound, and just say stuff you heard Joe Rogan say, because Joe is being a person doing it. And if you are an imitator doing it, it's not valuable, right? So and the word feint becomes that too, where it's like anytime there's some type of misdirection, we act like it's a big movement, when really misdirection is happening at all times. Looks, timing, rhythms, lies are being told. When even on the mitts, and some of it is unintentional, but is read as a feint or interpreted by the other person. If we always move our shoulders in a particular way because we've always done that, that'll be interpreted by the brain of the other, that has to, without conscious thought, inventory all of the possible threats, right? And they have to do it in a way where the brain has been trained to do it automatically and make those choices, right? It's very, very, very interesting. A lot of really great questions today. I'm super thankful. Um, Um, perfect choice for backdrop. Loving the Londo tree. Yeah, that is nice to have a little bit of outdoors. We went for a 1 hour run today. We ran 8 kilometers, my wife and I, 5 miles exactly. California love. Robin, please finish your thought. I don't always do that. Great stuff. My dad wants to ask, who do you think is the pound for pound best fighter in the UFC right now? Thank you. Probably Khabib. But without judgment, you can't. He doesn't have to get on a plane and go fight somebody in a country he doesn't know, and then maybe it's on the west coast of the United States. He's the best in the world. He doesn't have to do this. People in care homes here have basically been given a death sentence if they contract COVID. It's scary. It's frightening. It's a frightening time. We have to stay positive, and we have to take care of each other, and we have to inspire other people. We have to learn skills to bring back to the society, to the world after this. We appreciate the expertise and insight. Logan Jones was training for 5 years and planning to compete before a car accident en route to Francis versus Kane. Wow, getting back now. Well, you should talk different with the best audience. Inspiring to see you guys. Robin, I love your in-depth breakdowns. Could listen to this all day personally. Thanks, man. Whiskey in the Six. What up, Robin? You interested in doing a live with me on my @Sixer kickboxing and fitness account? Yeah, sure, man. You still got my cell phone. Just text me. Let's do it. Logan, what do you feel are some of the key on music and move in weird and unpredictable ways? Being an engineer, do I look at the mechanics of a technique different to someone artistic? Yes, you do. Yes, we are differently. Yeah, engineers are artistic too. But yes, that's a great question. And yes, we all look at things differently based on what we have. Anonymous, I wish I had your imagination, Robin. I've had a couple of really kind comments today where people are like, I wish I had your positive attitude. I wish I had your imagination. It's like, you can. These are practices like yoga or meditation. You practice imagination. You practice positivity. You practice it slowly. It becomes a part of you. You can. Jose Felix, hey, Robin. As a well-spirited dude who defends himself physically, have you ever been in a social situation where you were underestimated? Yes, but I would tend to not do much about that because I know I can. But yeah, people will underestimate you. That's good. That's good. You want that. You want that. You won't Bink now. It would be weird and dishonest to hear anyone else say it. Well, my man Rogan has said it in 2 or 3 broadcasts and then shouted me out. That's fucking so cool. Good luck at Logan Jones. It will take time, but you'll get there, buddy. That's right. Something, it could be a bit of both. That brings up an interesting point. And I'm sure I was going to say, let's end on this thought today, but I'm sure something else will come up. So when a fighter or an athlete or an entertainer, when a lot of people speak in public now, once upon a time, somebody would ask you a question, you would answer it. Maybe in entertain, make somebody laugh, sell fight, upset your opponent, tell lies that could be useful in the contest. We should, or we should consider at least as an audience, assuming that what we are reading by an athlete is probably untrue. Because there's a very good likelihood that it is. So we should assume that it is. And then we can wonder about for ourselves what their motivations might be, or we can just dismiss it as it's not useful information because it's probably misleading. My dad agrees with Khabib being the best pound for pound in the world. Sends his regards. Send them back. Papa, appreciate you. I'm doing at least a 20 a day hanging here, and it's been really good. It's been really nice to be able to do this. Anyone got a last thought or question? Quadrex, what up? A couple thank yous and friendlies. If you guys enjoying this, please share it, spread it around. If you want a t-shirt, it's valuable to all of us. We're all having our own challenges right now that says enjoy the hostilities or bink or flim flam or hot lava. A couple of my favorite things to say. They're at shoprobinblack.com. And please follow me on Instagram at Robin Black Martial Arts and on Twitter, which is at Robin Black MMA. I do live streams there too, almost every day. And all my 1-minute breakdowns go there. People ask why I don't do my 1-minute breakdowns as much on YouTube. It's actually YouTube rewards watch time. So short 1-minute things actually don't do well on YouTube, and in fact can negatively affect your ability to reach people with 20-minute pieces. So, from a business or a digital strategy standpoint, people are like, don't put your 1-minute breakdowns up. Now, maybe they're wrong. I just sort of trusted that advice and figured my other channels are lots of places you can watch them. So, but I got a 2-minute and 20-second piece on Vadim Nemkov on leg kicks. Maybe I'll put that up if I haven't already. Ian Marr, stay safe. Thanks, Robin. See you tomorrow. Yep, you will see me tomorrow. I'm going to do this at least 5 days a week all the way through this, and I'm going to try to keep that going always forever. Um, and again, the goal isn't get more people. The goal is to spend time with people you like and appreciate you and you appreciate them. And that's what this is for me. And that's what it has been. And it's been a pleasure. Really has. Thanks, guys. Gibbs. We're busy. An hour every day and an hour run every day, every single day. You guys do it too. You keep Instagram live right now too, because I promised them. We'll see you soon. Much love.